Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Decent, quick, frenetic, dangerous runs. This looks like Samson to me, and indeed that appears to be the case. With teleportation, we get Eden's. We must have re-rolled into Eden's Blessing on the last run. 9-3 EA7YSH. It is indeed an XL floor, which means no arcade action, unfortunately. And also a lot of pressure, but don't let it get to you. You know, we got to try to get our deal with the devil as well. But for now, this is good. What are the odds, though, that on 2 consecutive runs, we would get teleport from Eden's Blessing? I mean, the odds are probably very simple to calculate. How many items are in Isaac versus, you know, items you cannot get? Because they're, I don't know, I mean, I guess you wouldn't get a second Bloody Lust. I'm not going to get into the minutia of it. I felt like my soul leave my body once I started to get into the corner cases. It's one of those things you got to choose your battles, right? When I say what are the odds, I'm not your teacher saying literally what are the odds. I'm someone making conversation. So if we're off by a factor of, you know, 1%, who cares? Only you. Only you. Now, I would love to get to at least one item room here early. To be honest with you, I don't really want to... You know, let's check this. I need money for an arcade eventually. There you go. I don't want to do any room that we don't have to do, especially if it's a large room. It scares me a little bit when it comes to a deal with the devil context here. Okay, that was a little dicey. So I'd really, I mean, like to encounter a tinted rock. The other thing is, like, you know, if we don't, we don't. If we get hit, we can really lean into getting our damage bonus up there. But simultaneously, you know, I really like to at least get the option to say no to a deal with the devil and get deals with the angel or something for the future. Which I've started to come around on. But anyway, we don't need to talk about Isaac here. I've been torturing myself, in the way that I enjoy the most, Le Petit Mort. Not like that, though, you sickos. You Serge Gainsbourgs of the world. Wow, we did it. Yikes. Okay, you know what? Let's do it, because it's different, and it's at least an offensive item, but certainly, yes, not what I was looking for. I was reading... Let me give you a little backdrop on the Vancouver airport, which obviously we passed through twice over the course of the past couple of days. There's a few terminals. There's a... international terminal, there's a domestic terminal, which does Canada to Canada flights, and then there's an American terminal that does predominantly flights to the United States, but also maybe occasionally international flights, depending on stuff that I don't even understand, right? We're gonna get hit. Oh, we got hit. I thought that maybe the bean could save us. I'll take rubber cement. I can get down with that. On the international, or on the U.S. side, which is where we fly out of the most, there's not a whole lot of dining choices, you know? Let me do this one more time. I'm willing. There's not a whole lot of dining choices. There's, you know, I think there's a Burger King, there's a Cinnabon, or an Orange Julius. I don't know. It keeps changing. There's a sit-down restaurant that sells sushi, and I just feel bad because the thing is, Vancouver sushi is really good. At the airport, I wouldn't bet on it. Really should have blown this up instead, probably. You gotta know, you gotta pick your battles at the airport. You know, fresh fish is probably not one of the things I would consider buying at most North American airports. And then there's a restaurant called Canucks Restaurant, which actually sucks pretty bad. Much like actually, we're on the upswing, but is really your only choice for like a sit-down pub-style meal, aka the only thing I trust at an airport. I was reading reviews of it, and it is great. There are people... I mean, what does the restaurant deserve? It deserves like a... If it were in the city, it would deserve like a 1. Because it's at the airport... I don't even know, every review of the restaurant should say, no score, what else are you gonna do? I tweeted about it while we were at the airport, but I was laughing because, you know, people would come up and there's a restaurant menu on display outside of the restaurant. And people would come up the same way they would if they were like window shopping for a place to eat and be like, ooh, I wonder what they got here. Oh, I don't know if there's anything on this menu that I like. Maybe we'll shop around it. There's nowhere else to go, okay? It's either this or, you know, you're getting a weird banh mi from Tim Hortons, okay? So the illusion of choice it should not be lost on you. The reviews for the restaurant on Google are hilarious. Because most of them are like, this place is pretty bad, but what are you going to do? And then some places, or some of the reviews, I should say, have impossible standards. Like one guy on Google left a review, and it started with the most pompous statement you could ever have in a review. As a business owner myself, okay, congratulations, dude. Legally, you and I are in the same boat on that one. How does that make you feel? I'm playing video games right now. And he also did the thing that if you travel a lot, you have to do, which is he had an itemized number of days that he travels. I travel 150 plus days per year, and this is ridiculous. And the whole thing was not about the service. It was about the way that the restaurant was run. I was like, dude, just go back to Business Magazine, okay? I'm not trying to defend the Canucks restaurant, which is legitimately not very good. He's like, there's a blind spot for the bartender on the left side of the bar. And if you sit on the left side of the bar, God help you, you might miss your flight. Yeah, okay, or you could go, excuse me, can I get my bill, please? That's outrageous. Anyway. But equally, there are people who have given the restaurant 5-star reviews and have literally the lowest standards I could possibly imagine. Like some of the reviews are like, 5 stars, the food came out quick and the beer was cold. I'm like, that's what it did. Dude, I should get into the hospitality business. I didn't realize taking a beer out of a refrigerator was enough to warrant a 5-star performance. And all we have to do is charge, you know, $9 for it. What an incredible deal for all involved. It's also like, I love to look at restaurant reviews for a couple of different reasons. Because the reviews are as much a review of the reviewer as they are a review of the establishment. There's so many different factors that go into it. Like one of the things, if you ever get the time, you're really bored, go look at reviews of like fast food restaurants where you live. You know, go look up your reviews of your Tim Hortons, your McDonald's, your A&W's. It's hilarious. I've never in my life seen a McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, etc., with more than 3 stars. And they all say, like, you'll find reviews that are hilarious in the sense that they're written like a traditional Yelp review, like of a place that costs, you know, $30 a plate or something like that. They'll have a picture of the outside of the restaurant. I dined on... a quarter pounder with cheese at this McDonald's franchise. American-style hamburgers. Service was gruff but fast. Restaurant was reasonably clean. Might have been a corpse next to me. 2 stars. Like, what do you expect? Oh, hello, Ruka. Hello, my Ruka. Hello, my Tombo. Hello, my right-turn gal. Like, I don't know if you're trying to get your food blog started or something like that. This is how we do it. It worked. He's a genius. Like, every review, I almost feel like this is unfair. But if you review a Tim Hortons, a Wendy's, a Burger King, an A&W, etc., if nobody dies there, and you're also not given a 5-star treatment, every review should say it's A&W. Let me just go, okay, Tim Hortons, Vancouver. Let me see if I can get some reviews going for you here. Okay, let's just take a random one. It's a Tim Hortons on Dunsmuir Street. This one has a 3.7. It's downtown Vancouver. It's a bad location, but they're trying hard and doing pretty good. If you can ignore the riffraff. Only gave it 1 star so I can review it. Wait. There's got to be better than this. Come on, this is a good bit. Don't let me down here. Ruka. Music is way too loud. Can't even hear yourself think. Staff are standing around talking to one another. We came here on a Saturday morning. It was almost laughable how drab our experience. This is like the Dunkin' Donuts. We came here on a Saturday morning, and it was almost laughable how drab our experience was. Dim lighting, drowsy clientele, including one who'd fallen asleep on top of his upright coffee cup and no music playing. We ordered tea and it was fine. This place needs an update or something to perk it up. It's a Saturday morning at Tim Hortons, dude. Yeah, people are tired. This is a good one. No chili? How convenient. Hey, Yelp reviewers coming in. Let's tell them we don't have chili. It'll be hilarious. How convenient. Give me a second. There's got to be some more here. Ruka, you're using your nails to knead my leg, okay? Just head down, take a sleep in the box. Daddy's getting indignant. I'm not saying that these are unfair reviews. I'm just saying that this is, you know, context matters a little bit. There's actually not as many hilarious ones as I thought there would be. But no chili. How convenient. The universe has it out for me. Come on, there's gotta be something. Oh my god, this one's like an essay. They call their staff, they say they have the IQ of a stapler. It's a little insulting. An as usual place. Sometime their food and coffee is substandard. That's an honest review. I can get down with that one. You know what to expect. This one, okay, I'm gonna Google DMine, don't be mad. This is a review from a year ago. The owner of this place needs his ass kicked. Period. What? Oh, jeez. I didn't realize we have a badass here. Yo, the owner of this Tim Hortons, he needs a beating. Period. 3 stars. Just allowed a cokehead to harass people and do 3 lines on the table. That's the only text in the 3-star review. Dirty. The chocolate had not flavor at all, and you must not enter to the washroom ever. Okay, well, this is just getting a little ridiculous. These reviews, man, are so good. 3 stars. Out of stock all the time. Here we go. I haven't even read this one. I had the worst experience at Tim Hortons today. 1, it's an itemized list. There was so much garbage on the tables, I didn't even bother of thinking of sitting down and eating. Fair enough. 2, I purposely went into Tim Hortons to use the facilities, and the washrooms were out of order. Won't even let me use their public washroom. 3, I looked at the glass case, and there was literally only raisin chocolate donuts and a Boston cream. 4, I asked for a chocolate chip muffin, and they didn't have any. 5, I asked for a crispy chicken. They didn't have any. How convenient, am I right? 6, I asked for a Chipotle wrap, all capitals. Paid for it, only for them to come back and say, if you want chicken, you have to wait 10 minutes after I already paid. They had to reimburse me my money. Walked out with no food, and I still had to pee. All right, none of that is unfair. Often smells like puke, do not recommend. Fair enough. All right, so we're like, I've gotten way too deep into this. How long have we been doing this? Like 10 minutes? And now get on with it. Bro, this is what happens, okay? When I reach the point in which my audience tells me they use these videos to fall asleep, I use them to make fun of Yelp reviews of locations that are, like, unreviewable. I'm not saying any place is above criticism. I'm just saying, you know, if you go into Tim Hortons in downtown Vancouver and you're gonna be worried about the people sitting around you, you might be in the wrong location. I wouldn't recommend it. Hold on, grab this. As a business owner myself who travels to Tim Hortons 150 plus times per year, I don't allow it. Any review of a fast food, if you've been to a fast food establishment once, you should know what to expect. You know, there's a couple of things. When I go to Tim Hortons, which is very rare because they suck, admittedly. And they only have a Boston cream. And sometimes, even when I don't ask for it, they reimbursed into me my money. But there's like a 60% chance my order will be slightly wrong. When I go to Burger King, there's a decent chance that, you know, there will be like some kind of crime that happens inside of the restaurant. You just have to weigh that with your desire to eat a Whopper, you know? That's my 2 cents anyway. Excuse me. If I may. Well, I don't know if I should have taken Dr. Fetus on this front. We're at 15 minutes on the clock and 9 minutes in the run so far. That should I spent a little bit too much time. I apologize. Okay, that's on me. It's Caves 2. I came down here with money. You know, I actually don't think we really want to look for IV bag now that I think about it, because we already got. Well, we don't have any red hearts that we can really leverage here. So, forgive me. Super stoked, by the way, to have piercing shots and bombs. They go extremely well together. And it cuts both ways. That's why I like reading reviews of places. I also like reading reviews of places that I go to a lot, because sometimes the reviews are bad, and I'm like, you know what? That's highly fair. Like, there's some places that we go to out of convenience, and they're like, service sucks. And I'm like, dude, you're telling me. There's a place we go to for Korean barbecue in Vancouver that shall remain nameless because I don't want to, like, you know, blow up their spot. But, plus it's already pretty busy. The service is truly terrible. Why do we keep going? Because they keep selling us meat. But it always is like, you know, sometimes we sit down and it takes like 15 or 20 minutes for someone to come and, you know, be like, hey, do you guys want to get some food today? And you're like, yeah, that's why we came to the restaurant. It's hard, though, because I'll tell you something, okay? I am, to some extent, a passive person. There's no doubt about that. And I don't like, I've, you know, been conditioned that it's rude to call a server over. For better or for worse, you know. You know that quote from 40-Year-Old Virgin where Steve Carell is like, you know, unlike you guys, I respect women. I respect women so much I stay completely away from them. That's basically me with service staff. It's like, hey, Ryan, you want to talk to the staff? There's a vial of cyanide in your food. I mean, well, I don't want to be any trouble, you know. I'm sure they got other tables. But, you know, it's a Korean-run restaurant, and the culture at restaurants in Korea, from someone who lived there, is that in most places, literally to get service, you sit down, you look at the menu, and then when you're ready to order, you put up your hand, basically, like you're answering a question in a classroom, and you go, "Chogyo," and then someone across the restaurant goes, "Nay," and they come over, and then you go, "I don't know what I'm ordering, but I'll take one of these, please." And that's fine. And when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? So, like, when I was in Korea, I got no problem. And yes, we've all heard the joke, do I have to Chogyo a B, Wayne Brady, etc., etc. Hilarious. You're very funny. 3-star Yelp review, what'd you expect? But in Canada, it creates a strange situation for me. Because sometimes we'll go eat at a Korean restaurant, like this one, and there will, you know, I don't want to make it about this, but I may or may not be the only white person in the restaurant. And then Kate's like, we should order. And I'm like, I know, but I don't know if this is the kind of place where you Chogyo. We have this discussion a surprising amount where, excuse me, my son, did you have to jump onto my lunch in order to be on the desk? We have to have the conversation, you know, is this the type of place that you Chogyo? Because in my head, here's how it plays out for me. Is in a Korean restaurant in Canada, I put on my hand, I go, Chogyo, and then somebody comes over and goes, yes, sir, what'll you have today? And I'm the jerk. and maybe I am in this case, I don't know. That's why I'm bringing it up here. That's why I actually, although I don't follow the conversation very well, I like eating with Kate's parents at Korean restaurants. Because they, you know how it goes. You know, if they want something, They don't even look behind or see where staff is. They just shout from their table. And that's the way it's supposed to be. But it does put me in an awkward position. And it's all about me, me, me. No, I want to eat at the restaurant. I want them to bring my bill so I can get out of their hair and they can have higher turnover. It's all about you. Anyway. It's not a very relatable anecdote, I'll level with you there. But for anybody who's lived in Korea, it's good. It's just that in North America, we have unwritten rules about eating in restaurants. It's like complicated Old English etiquette or something that makes no sense to me. Like, you know what else they have at some restaurants, particularly in Asia? They have a button on your table, and when you press it, it goes bing bong, and then in the back of the restaurant or wherever the front of house is standing, it pops up a number. That's your table number, and it goes like, "Hey, table 6 needs. They want your attention." It's the greatest system of all time. What do we do at North American style restaurants? We either wait until somebody walks by and go, "Excuse me, my food is poison. Can I get a to-go box, please?" Or we wait until they come back and they go, "How are those first few bites so far?" And then you are chewing, obviously, as they say. And then you go, "Well, it's pretty good, but by the way, my food's poison. Can I get some more water?" I love the bing bong system. You push the button. 'Cause here's the thing. I'm never really gonna complain, but if I particularly for me, I'm an impatient person. I've come to realize as I've gotten older, and again, it's like a New Year's resolution still that I was gonna say actively working on, but let's just say like sort of passively working on and hoping that it gets better just over time naturally without any influence of my own. Yeah, let's get the heck out of town here. But after I'm done eating, I think there's different kinds of people. Some people, after they're done eating, they're like, "Oh, finally, I get to sit down and enjoy the restaurant." And me, after I'm done eating, I'm like, "I gotta get the hell out of this restaurant. There's no reason for me to be here anymore. I would rather be in my own home. I can make my own tea." It's not a price thing or like, you know, whatever. It's more just, you know, I don't see the need to be in public anymore. I would rather just be in private. Different strokes for different folks. I'm not hating on you either way. You know why not take a crazy chance? Why not do a crazy dance? Hillary Duff. Everybody. Tempting, but this run with the bombs, it kind of sucks. I don't really want to take on unnecessary risk. So after I'm done eating, and then after my wife's done eating, which usually there is like a 15 or 20 minute difference between the two, I like immediately want to check. But instead, you know, sometimes, you know, especially if there's food left on the plate, a server literally will like not come around and be like, "Can I get you anything else? You know, are you ready for the bill?" You know, they wait until the person is, they've cleared their plate or are actively like visibly done eating. So sometimes you know, we were waiting there for like 20 minutes. And in my head, I don't know. It's not like a capitalism thing, you know, that, "Oh, I need to get home and record more Isaac." It's more like, I don't want to be in this establishment anymore. I want to be in my house with my lovely feline sons, right, Ruka? You know, you only get one life. I don't want to spend it sitting in the Applebee's, if possible, once I've consumed my chili carnitas crunch. So I'm telling you, and I brought this up before. I really thought at this point we would maybe be here as a continent, but North American restaurant owners, if you implement the bing bong, you are gonna, millennials will love your establishment, and I mean that sincerely. I don't care about like talking to a human being. I don't need to order from a robot. It doesn't matter to me, you know? I know that it's some like American Red Robins, you can like order from an iPad or something like that. I don't care. Sure, if it works, it works. But the ability to just be like, "Hey, please come here right now. I will ask you for the bill and I'll get out of your hair. We can get out of the restaurant. You can get more tips, etc., etc." I mean, these are not major concerns, by the way. I'm not like, you know, am I the only one here that sees things the way they are truly should be? It's more just, you know, as a minor complaint, for sure. I'm just saying, you know. The Bing Bong system is objectively the best. The North American system of either like... Because I really feel like it's a catch-22 in North America, you know? You either wait for a server to come around and then you go, here's my grievance, or you have to try to get a server's attention and you run the risk of being like a Twitter anecdote later in the day. Excuse me, sir. Hay is for horses. If you want to address me, you snap your fingers. No, that's the opposite of how it's supposed to work. It's complicated etiquette. I mean, it's complicated. It's not like, you know, Korea is etiquetteless. Did you know in Korea, you know how when you do the, like, come here motion in North America, it's like you hold the palm of your hand upwards and move your fingers towards your person? In Korea, that'll get you gasped at. No doubt. Because that's like... That's how you interact with a dog. And I'm not making this up. The way that you are supposed to tell someone to come here is you put the palm of your hand downwards. Please, more spirit arts. Thank you. More spirit arts, even now. You put the palm of your hand downwards and then move your fingers inwards. And then they're like, yeah, that's respectful. I'm not saying that we don't have our own weirdness. I'm just saying, you know, it's... Every country's a little different, you know? In Korea, you're also not supposed to put your chopsticks into your bowl of rice because it looks similar to a tribute that is done to, you know, deceased ancestors. So it's kind of like you're invoking the evil of the spirits or something. Now, the thing is, I don't know how much of that is actually respected and observed in the modern day, but in every article you read before you go to Korea, they make it seem like if you do that, you're going to be, like, publicly executed on the streets of Seoul. When really, I feel like people just could not care less. Or, like, you don't pick up your rice bowl to eat, you leave it on the ground. Or you leave it on the table, I should say. Every country's got their own strange etiquette. To some extent, at least. I guess I shouldn't say every country's got their own etiquette, because I got no idea. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's some countries out there that are like, you do you, bro. It's definitely not Canada, though. Canada's got aggressive etiquette and politeness for sure as well. We bumped into each other. And I said, sorry, bud. And he said, no problem. He didn't say sorry, bud, back. I think I can make fun of my own country. Can I just level with you? I don't like this run. I'm having a fun time with the anecdotes and the whatnots, but I'm not having like a superbly entertaining time when it comes to the actual quality and camber of the run itself. I think taking Dr. Fetus in this case was a mistake. We should have an easy path to victory. We got some great stuff working out for us. But it's just kind of a, I don't want to say a snooze, but not as enjoyable as it could be. That's alright, maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get the synergy that'll take us to the next level. I'm not trying to mess around with pills or anything like that at this point. Because we kind of got everything we need to have, and I've said kinda about 16 times in the past 2 sentences. I apologize for that. I keep shooting as soon as I enter a room, which is basically just a license to get hit by your own bombs. Yeah, I guess we'll give it a try. Okay, waste of my time. Waste of my time. Oh, not a waste of my time. Not at all. But I don't know if I guess we'll take it because we got a good deal with the devil chance. Is this... It is Utero 2, so this run has really picked up, at least in terms of speed lately. I guess we did make boss rush, so it's not that much faster. Anyway, I'm just saying, when it comes to restaurants, I wish, you know, Silicon Valley, they're disrupting all sorts of stuff, you know, and in a good way, debatably at least. Disrupting the transportation industry, the taxi industry, the grilled cheese industry, and so on and so forth. We've already seen our deal with the devil on this floor, of course. And I think they kind of have, because I've seen in some restaurants in Vancouver, they're like, you know, if you download this app, you don't even have to wait to pay your bill. You could just pay it like on your phone via this app. And I'm like my own worst enemy. I'm a hypocrite, as a lot of us are. You know, I'll insult myself, but not without insulting the rest of humanity as well. Where I'm like, I'm not gonna download an app to pay a bill. You think Granddad had to get an app when he was fighting in WW2? I mean, I don't see what's wrong with the whole... No, it's more like, you know, I'm on data right now. I don't want to download a 60 megabyte app. And keep in mind, I live in Canada. My data cap is 60.3 megabytes a month. That's a joke. It's actually 6 gigs now. It's pretty good. Things are coming up a little bit in the telecommunications industry. Is that a tears up? Nope. Okay. You know, second health up. Why not? Why not? Yeah, pretty nice. What was that? That was old Owen Wilson. That's the idea, anyway. You know, maybe I should download that app. But I'm also like, I don't know. When you're in a restaurant and you see an app that's like, it's a catch-22, right? It's like, hey, don't want to pay your bill at this restaurant? Download this app. There are dozens of other restaurants that support it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like I had to get the United app to check in online to fly United home. I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to fly United again. What, I have to get an app for each individual airline? Well, now I have to get an app for, like, each individual restaurant? If every restaurant implemented it, I would be like, let's go. Until that time comes, I'm like, oh, excuse me, can you bring the machine, please? It's one of those things where I'm like, you know, there's two ideas. One is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the other one, and this is the one I agree with here, is that, you know, in this situation, something can be broken, but you don't realize it until a tool exists that, you know, allows you to fix it. It's like the video store we were talking about several episodes ago. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it wasn't broke in 1995, but once everyone, like 98% of the continent, maybe the world, I don't know, got broadband internet access, a tool became available that you're like, oh, actually, this is broke as heck. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm telling you that Bing Bong, dude, it'll work. Implement it in your restaurant. If anybody comes to your restaurant and gets offended by the Bing Bong and they go, well, this isn't the way that we used to do it, they're dumb, and you should charge them double. I'm sorry. You better get in the new one if you can't lend a hand, 'cause the times they are a-changing. Bad Bob Dylan impression. I am, you know, without being offensive, I would love to put on a happy face. Every run in Isaac is its own unique snowflake. It's true, but some snowflakes fall gently to the ground, leaving a thin, white cloud of fluff, just enough to be soft without being inconvenient. It's picturesque. Bing Crosby wrote songs about it. And some snowflakes fall directly downwards, in between the space between your eyeglasses and your eyeball. They get in your eye, and now your eyeball is cold and wet. This is more of the cold and wet eyeball sort of run that we got going on here. It's not a bad run. It's just kind of... I don't want to describe it necessarily as unpleasant. Because, you know, anecdotally, we got to talk about some really cool stuff like reviews of the Tim Hortons on Dunsmuir Street. I don't even know if I've ever been to that Tim Hortons. You know, there's a fast food restaurant I should be looking at. It's the Tim Hortons on Burrard Street in the Bentel Center. Let me see if I can get some reviews of that. Tim Hortons Bentel Center. How are the reviews here? It's closed on a Saturday. It's got a 3.4. That's not so bad. I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to say that. This one is really bad. Let me just say that it started with, I thought Vancouver was about diversity. And then it went down the road that you might expect following that part. Poor customer service. There's a 2-star review. Fast food for breakfast. Good as always, 5 stars. Very, very slow service. Most of these reviews do not have any writing. Let's sort by highest rating. Okay, let's sort by lowest rating. I'm trying here. I'm trying to find something entertaining. It's not as entertaining as you would think. All right, well, you know what? I struck out on that one. That's the end of the video. Womp womp. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.